No reason to risk that on a 60-yard field goal attempt. Give them new life, and now here they are, off to their first 2-0 start since 2009, snapping the second longest drought in the NFL. They've scored on 14 of 17 offensive possessions this season. The 82% rate is the first by any team in their first 2 games over the last 45 years. They're also the first team in the Super Bowl era to go their first 2 games without punting, which is absolutely
Their punter's
insane.
overpaid.
Yeah, I mean,
by definition,
Yeah, Daniel Jones wins this starting job over Anthony Richardson, and here they are. I mean, what are they getting from DJ?
I'll tell you what has been one of the stories of Daniel Jones' career. Far too careless with the football. He has 0 turnovers in the first 2 games so far this season. On top of that, he has taken just 2 sacks. They have protected Daniel Jones extremely well with a well-invested offensive line plus an excellent running game. Jonathan Taylor was perhaps the best player on the field yesterday, but Daniel Jones is making quality decisions, and I think so much of the puzzle is being solved prior to the snap in the Shane Steichen offense. They're playing with much improved pace compared to where they were last year with a smorgasbord of quarterbacks, Anthony Richardson and also Joe Flacco. Very impressive start for Daniel Jones. Yes, the Week 1 effort was important against Miami. This is a different beast yet. The Denver Broncos, who at least came into the season on the short list for best defenses in the NFL, makes you feel like there is more staying power with Daniel Jones.
Well, they're making mistakes, though, on both sides of the ball, the Broncos.
They are, but I think a lot of that has to.
All right, well, I want to talk about the Indianapolis Colts. This is why coaching is awesome, and fit and situation matters so much. I mean, Daniel Jones was being thrown out to the point where fans, if you probably polled the average fan and said, should Daniel Jones even try to play quarterback anymore? Does anyone want him? And the vast majority of people would say no. But that's where football coaches and players understand. There's a reason why Kevin O'Connell was like, yeah, I'll take Sam Darnold. I'll take Daniel Jones. I'll take Kirk Cousins. And Shane Steichen's like, I'll take Daniel Jones. So like the real coaches know. And this is just great. Because I thought there could be an emergence with Daniel Jones. I didn't think he was going to play this great, this fast, to be very clear. Like I'm not doing some victory lap here, but I definitely felt pretty good, and I believe that's why I kept saying Gardner Minshew was successful with Shane Steichen. Jalen Hurts had his best season with Shane Steichen. Justin Herbert with Shane Steichen. Like, Shane Steichen is for real. When I thought that maybe the Colts were going to consider firing Shane Steichen, it was just like, man, he's got to be on everyone's short list to get him as the offensive coordinator. Like, the Eagles better scoop him up immediately. And now you're seeing what he can do. And this isn't a fluke what Daniel Jones is doing with Steichen and this Colts team. And it's not just like, oh, well, he's on a better team now. Shane Steichen is consistently putting him in positions to succeed and giving him answers. He's being blitzed, but Shane Steichen is giving him the solutions. Okay, Daniel Jones in his best year with the Giants had a 17.8 pressure to sack percentage. Do you know what he is right now? 7.4. I mean, it's pretty remarkable. It's really remarkable. It's incredibly impressive. And a lot of that is Shane. It's always an interesting stat to try to figure out, when is it on the player, when is it on the coaching staff to give them the solutions when they are being pressured, when they are being blitzed. And it takes some unpacking. Sometimes it's clearly the mobility of the quarterback. Sometimes it's the coach giving him giving the quarterback a solution, giving him, people to spit the ball out to when you are facing that pressure, being able to isolate the throws and where they need to go. It's a combination of factors. With the Josh Allens of the NFL, the Lamar Jacksons, like, it's not exactly coaching. It's their physical gifts. But when you see a quarterback do not so well with pressure and then suddenly be great under pressure, they didn't just magically get great against the blitz. They're now with a coach who's, again, giving them the solutions. We've now seen Trevor Lawrence be significantly better, with his pressure to sack percentage, which is what I said was going to happen once he got Liam Cohen. And I was going to say that Jared Goff now, his was going to take a hit once he lost Ben Johnson. All things come into fruition. All things, as Jared Goff now goes back up to 20% for his pressure to sack percentage. Like, these things matter. I know obviously Jared Goff got the feast the other day, but obviously against a not so good Chicago Bears team, but doesn't matter. So this is what's great to see. This is what's great to see. I mean, just Daniel Jones just looks so comfortable. He looks so confident. You can see, again, when blitz, 16 for 24, 267 yards and a touchdown, and they're coming after him, right? 68% of dropbacks. It seems like all around the league, everyone is blitzing a lot. I'm interested to see if that trend continues and to see, when we compare it to historical context, if blitzing is just at a trending upwards right now for whatever reason, which would be pretty interesting to look at. But obviously, a lot of teams are banking on, oh, Daniel Jones isn't good. Like, he's not going to be able to deal with the pressure. Like, just get after him. And he's cooking them. He is cooking them all and making them pay. And this was a game that the Colts should have lost. Let's be serious here. But the fact of the matter is that offensively, they've just been playing like their hair is on fire, especially obviously Daniel Jones, and it feels sustainable. It doesn't feel like this is just a team that just kind of got a little hot out the gate. It feels sustainable. And this is the power of a seasoned veteran going to a great offensive coach. I've been banging on this drum, and that's what I was talking about with Sam Darnold, with Kevin O'Connell, and the risk of moving on from him for J.J. McCarthy, and a couple of the other examples of that situation unfolding, and even with the Colts and having to deal with AR. And I'm just like, when you can give a veteran to a Shane Steichen, he's going to be able to speak the same language right away. And he's going to be able to more easily put this quarterback in positions to succeed. And that's what we are seeing again and again and again and again. And so this is great. I mean, it feels like the Colts can literally be the Minnesota Vikings of last year with Sam Darnold. And the benefit, though, that they have is that this division is way more open. Way more open, way less physical. I mean, like, not as good as coached, not from my viewpoint. So the Vikings had to deal with the Lions and the Packers and some great coaches, LaFleur, Dan Campbell, Ben Johnson, Aaron Glenn. Like, there was a lot that the Vikings kind of had to deal with. And don't get me wrong, the Vikings were very well coached in their own right, but it was just harder, obviously. This is open for the Colts. This is absolutely, positively, undeniably open for the Colts right here. So it's exciting. It's absolutely exciting for them. They are in a great spot, and then even little things, like if they need to sneak in via the wild card or whatever it is, like you have the Chiefs going down 0-2. Ironically, beating the Broncos actually helps the Chiefs a little bit because obviously the Broncos are in that division, but like even any of the wild card spots, the Dolphins, the Patriots, like it's just, they're already now, a lot of these other teams that you would think are going to be maybe competing for a wild card spot, or that's like their best case scenario. A lot of those teams are 1-1 or 0-2. And so even if the Colts run out of a little bit of steam, or their offense starts to balance out a little bit because it's just, the law of averages here, which is definitely possible, you're still in a great position. You're still building this foundation where it's like, yeah, we can go through a rough stretch. We can have a rough moment where Daniel Jones is just not quite this quarterback right now, and yet the wild card is still right there on the table, or like I said, maybe even the division, depending on how this all unfolds. But they've been given a lot of gifts from just the NFL gods as a whole in terms of how all these wins and losses have been balanced out and who's winning and losing. The Bengals, I think they're in big trouble without Joe Burrow. Of course, I know there was a little bit of some Jake Browning magic, but like, you know, and that was another wild card team, or between them and the Ravens, who was going to be the wild card or who was going to win the division. Like, you're right there, man. You are right there, and that's just great to be. I'm happy for Indianapolis, you know, Daniel Jones. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Indianapolis Colts and their big win over the Denver Broncos, starting the season 2-0? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions, let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.